Check this out. I'm here to clarify what I mean when I say no foods are off limits. When you hop on my program, when you hop on my fitness and nutrition and mindset plan, I always talk about no foods are off limits. You know, you could have whatever you want as long as it fits your macros. And what I mean by that is where a lot of people get confused. All these Mr. Know-it-alls get triggered by it, talking about, oh, they're still eating like a lot of sugary foods, pasta, which, that right there is not good for you. And now they start taking it as far as like, oh man, that chicken that you're telling them to buy, it has a lot of, hormones. And, they go far and beyond of what a lot of, of the people are really like knowledgeable about. At the beginning, a lot of people, just by changing the way you eat, the way you structure your meals, you're gonna start losing the bad weight that you have, the weight that you don't want. Obviously, later on, as you get the momentum going, you get the wheels turning, you start being more curious about, implementing different, healthier choices in your meals. But a lot of people always want to confuse themselves. A lot of people are trying to do more than what they know, and they end up tapping out. You cannot go from 0 to 100, from going to eating whatever you want to having this disciplined, crazy, structured meal that your coach or whoever you got it from, and think that you're going to stick to it. You're setting yourself up for failure. So the best way that's going to work is by, cutting down the calories, eating in a structured manner with the foods that you are used to eating. It makes more sense. It's common sense. We've just been eating so much, and a lot of people, they're eating so much of the wrong nutrients, the wrong macro ratio, which is like high carbs, high fats, not enough protein. As soon as we just switch that around, they just start moving forward. They start feeling different. Carbs and fat are the source of energy that the body needs, but you don't need that much. You're over consuming on the source of energy that the body needs. It's not going to be able to utilize it, like it should. So it just stores as fat, especially if you're consuming high amounts of fat. So once you have a plan, or I structure you a plan, a lot of people could still be eating what they're eating, but chop it in half, or even cut down, the calories or the portions that you've been eating, and you're gonna start winning. You're gonna start seeing results. You gotta crawl. You gotta crawl before you walk. You gotta walk before you run. There's levels. There's steps. A lot of people that want to go just straight savage mode, like very, very strict on their diet or their fitness journey that they end up taking. They take it to the extreme where like they don't last. They crack. They create a bigger problem because now they're in disbelief within themselves because they fail. And when you fail, you don't feel good about yourself, and you set yourself up for that. You did something extreme, which most people don't pull it off. It's very rare that somebody's going to stick to it and commit to it and run on just willpower and whatever they put in their head. There is people that have done it. There is people that took it to that high level. But then again, a lot of people ain't ready to even spend that money. They're already complaining about how expensive it is to be healthy, and it's not expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive to be healthy. There's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of protein source that you could get for cheap, that you could be able to get your protein intake of the day and be in a budget. It's just, you just got to know how to shop. You got to know how to prioritize your meals correctly, structure it correctly throughout the day, so you do not waste anything. And if you don't have a coach or a mentor, then you just got to do your research on what is the what could you get more for your money, your bucks. And like I said, I went all the way to eating canned chicken, and right away people think that canned food is not healthy. knowing that, you've been overweight for years, consuming a lot of fried food, a lot of processed food that's worse than canned chicken. That's a source of protein that the body needs. The body doesn't care where it comes from, if it's high quality chicken or lower chicken that's been that been discounted because of whatever reason. They're still selling it. Obviously, it's a lot better. It's a better choice than consuming what you guys been consuming, which is a lot of fast food, fried food, oils that are bad for you. And people got to read between the lines, and they got to think more instead of just listening to this person talk about how bad that chicken, or how bad cereal is, and complicating things for the masses, complicating things for a lot of people that don't know. So we got to be honest, and be straight up with that there is no need for you to split hairs here. There's no need for you to confuse yourself and try to do too much at the beginning of your journey. You got to make it as simple, as most effective as possible, so you could make it your lifestyle, and you could make it you could make it like something that you get used to and love doing it. There's no way for you to commit to something that you're struggling every day to hit or to eat or to consume, just because you think that going harder is better. No, absolutely not. This is a lifestyle. It's a journey. You got to make it as as convenient as possible, as realistic as possible. Going with your lifestyle of eating, your lifestyle of you knowing that am I gonna last by doing this? Am I gonna last by torturing myself? These are questions that nobody asks themselves. They just go all gun-ho, they just go all in without even doing the research or thinking about long view. And that's the problem. So when I say no foods are off limits, there is no foods that are off limits. There is no, oh, you cannot have this and this is the only thing that you could have. You set yourself up for failure if you think that you're gonna do something that's so dramatic and drastic from one day to the next. You're not gonna last. Very few people do it, if that's probably 1% of people that pull it off. And eventually, some of them, they're like, man, I could have done it a lot better if I wouldn't have went that extreme and took my time and enjoyed it. It's about enjoying the process, and making it a lifestyle. It's not just a journey that's not gonna apply to your lifestyle. If not that, you're gonna end up setting yourself up back to square one, which most people do, and they call it yo-yo dieting, where you hold tough for X amount of months, and then you go back to your bad habits, your old ways. So we're trying to build new habits and create better habits, healthier habits, better choices. That's what we call it long view. That's what we call it a lifestyle. So there is no end to this. So like I said, we all got to start somewhere, and we're starting by controlling the way you eat, your portions, and then from there we move up to picking better foods, and then we move on to picking better quality sources of carbs and fat and protein. Straight up, there's levels to this. Don't get caught up in all this mumbo jumbo that you hear out there of you posting your meals and people right away talking crap about it, not knowing that, what, this is not going to be, something that obviously, you would want to consume every day. Eventually, at a certain point, you start making better choices. But like I said, keep on pushing. Let's run it.